Today I'm actually giving something away, obviously. So if you weren't aware, but you might have seen like in the links in my bio and on Instagram and stuff, I actually use cables from a company called Loaded for Bear, and they're a small family-based business based in Yorkshire, and they build all their cables by hand, and they've only been running a short while. But I approached them and said, I really like the look of what you're doing. Is there any chance we could work together on some stuff? And John is a really nice guy, and he's worked with me on a few different little ideas and built me some custom cables. And so this is why I think, hopefully, he came to me and said I wanted to do a giveaway with some other companies as well. So Home of Tone is a guy called James who runs a business called Home of Tone. He's been a really cool guy to me, and he lent me a couple of guitars that I've shown you on the channel. One was the Millimetric guitar and the other's the Voyage, which I've still got, and I'll show you later on in the video. But these guys together are doing a little giveaway of some leads and stuff, so I thought that's kind of cool. And I've also got my own set of leads that I'm going to give away on Patreon if that's something you're interested in. So if you've tried sort of lower quality cables or cheaper quality cables, and you've tried longer cables, you may find that you start to notice, if you switch between these and like a low capacitance or a shorter cable, that there's like a little drop off in the high end or the treble frequencies. That's because effectively capacitance acts like a low pass filter, and the more meters you add, basically the greater cumulative impact it has on your tone. So this isn't necessarily a bad or a good thing, but if you're trying to preserve clarity and presence over a long cable run, it makes sense to try and use a low capacitance cable. Jimi Hendrix, for instance, used coiled cables to get a longer run, and this is for exactly the opposite reason, and effectively tames some of that brightness and some of that clarity that perhaps wasn't desirable for his sound, or perhaps coiled cables were more readily available back in the day, who knows. But just to summarise, a low capacitance cable effectively should preserve more of that high-end clarity and more of that treble presence that does get lost over a longer cable run. Not just to look pretty, these cables also use this braiding, which is coloured braiding, to preserve the cable underneath. Hopefully that'll mean it'll last a bit longer than a standard cable. Also, he offers a lifetime guarantee. So at Loaded for Bear, he builds these cables by hand, one at a time, and then offers you a lifetime guarantee on them, which I think is pretty cool. Basically, he offers custom cables as well, so I'll just talk quickly about the ones that I've ordered from him. So, for instance, you've seen in my videos with the Iridium, the HX Stomp and all this, that I tend to use TRS balanced outputs, and I go into XLRs. This is for two reasons. One, that means I can send a balanced output to whatever I'm using. If I'm using unbalanced outputs, it's no problem either, because it just doesn't make a difference. And then secondly, if I'm out live, I can use these XLRs, and then the front of house can send XLRs down to me, and effectively I just have to take this cable and not worry about, you know, not having cables long enough to go to front of house and all that stuff. XLRs really solve that issue. The other thing that I spoke to John about was the Kemper Ethernet cable, and I said that the stock cable, which is like this grey thing, is super difficult to wrap up and keep tidy, and it basically, if I'm using it on a wedding or whatever, ends up just looking like this grey mess at the front of the stage. So he kindly built me this Kemper green Ethernet to Ethernet cable, which works with my Kemper remote and basically looks a lot tidier, is a lot easier to keep clean and looking neat. And so that's something else that I ordered from him. So building custom cables for your needs is definitely something that John will be happy to do if you do go to the website and look at what he offers. The reason he's excited about this new range is that the cable capacitance is even lower than what he was using before. If you want to go into the details, the existing cable range was 90 picofarads per meter. The new Clarity range is 52 picofarads per meter. So in theory, you should be getting even more high frequency content through. And then it's got G&H plugs to ensure maximum signal transmission from copper cable core to the tip of the plug, and with a lifetime guarantee. So I think that's pretty cool. And if you're buying cables, I think it's definitely worth looking at Loaded for Bear. In my opinion, they're what I use. John is giving away this full set of cables, and to enter this, all you need to do is basically follow the Loaded for Bear audio Instagram, the Home of Tone James Instagram, and Aldo is Taken Instagram, and also my Instagram, and just leave a comment in the Loaded for Bear post saying that you want to enter the giveaway, tag a friend, that sort of stuff. The launch and the giveaway start time is from now, 6 o'clock on Friday, and the giveaway deadline will be 6 o'clock on Monday, our time in England, and that's going to be decided by Loaded for Bear. But I'm also going to give away a set of cables to my patrons, kind of as a thank you for sticking with me. That's kind of a cool thing that I've been asked to be involved with. As I say, it's the company stuff that I use, and I really like John and the way that he interacts with me, and I really like what they're doing in terms of trying to build, you know, quality cables that can be repaired. One of the differences is that these cables are designed to be repaired, so I know there are other companies that make cables with a lifetime guarantee, but a lot of those are kind of sealed, and basically they just send out a replacement cable and that gets wasted. I know John kind of cares about making things actually last and repairable and also recyclable and all that sort of stuff, so I think that's important to him, and I think that's kind of a cool thing. But yeah, so follow those accounts in the description and tag a friend on the Loaded for Bear audio post, and you can win a set of these cables. And if you're a patron of mine, there's going to be a chance for you to win a set as well. Now I'm going to do some playing, and hopefully this was cool. Thank you for watching.